Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's show is presented by Craggy Games. Let's face it, y'all. Tailgating's right around the corner, and I absolutely love playing Craggy Games. I love playing this game with Chugs. You guys see it all the time here on our live shows, and this might be your final chance to get it. It's craggygames.com. Use code Raiders to save 15% off. This is the ultimate tailgating game for two people, and then you can get a whole group involved. So coming up here on today's show, I'm going to tell y'all 5 reasons why the Las Vegas Raiders need to extend star tight end Darren Waller right now. ASAP Rocky. And if they do, dude, we're going to be going live, so hit that subscribe button. Please remember that. So 5 reasons of why the Raiders need to extend Waller. I'm not going to rank these in any particular order, but the reason why we're talking about this is because it feels like months at this point of wondering, waiting. Hell, every time my phone lights up at this point, I wonder, did the Raiders just extend Darren Waller? We've heard from multiple sources, multiple people that the conversations are seriously heating up. Waller fired his old agent, hired Drew Rosenhaus, and it sounds like both sides want to try to get this deal done. The question is it going to happen before the Raiders' Week 1 game against the Chargers? I don't know. That's why I'm here. That's what this conversation is going to be about. So for me, one of the top reasons why I want the Raiders to keep him around, he can catch the freaking football. He is one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the entire league. Hell, he's such a good pass catcher. Think about how many times last season, when I said it, other Raiders analysts said it, people who you know said it, oh, the Raiders don't have a number 1 wide receiver. Oh, well, they have Darren Waller. Well, I get it. He is a phenomenal player from top to bottom. He averaged over 60 receiving yards per game last season. Did he battle some injuries? Yes. In 2020, though, over 100 catches, single-season record for the Raiders. In 2019, over 1,000 yards. This is a man who, when you target him, he's going to come down with the football. I mean, check out some of these numbers here. His catch rate percentage over the last 4 years, which has all been with the Raiders. In 2021, it was a little bit lower at 61.1%, but in 2020, 76.4%. In 2019, 78.3%. In 2018, a perfect 100%. That is a career with the Raiders at 73.5%. Call me crazy for thinking this. I think that this number is going to go dramatically up, because you can't simply plan for Waller anymore. You got to worry about Davante Adams. You got to worry about Hunter Renfrow. And if, let's say, he is the third option, one-on-ones with Darren Waller, that's phenomenal. When I think about the top tight ends in the National Football League, I think of Darren Waller, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews. From the career catch rate, and this, again, is based off of him with the Raiders, because that's what I'm going to base it off of, 73.5, better than George Kittle, better than Travis Kelce, better than Mark Andrews. He is that elite. He is in that upper echelon of just tight ends that, I'm sorry, it's a difference maker. So if you got Darren Waller's back, and if you want the Raiders, Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler, to make sure that this man retires the Raider, reps that silver and black, I want every single person to type 83. So you're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break, scroll on down and type 83 for Waller. Let's go to the next reason why I want the Raiders to extend him. Versatility on offense. There's that V word again, right? The Raiders love versatility. All NFL teams like versatility. But when you have somebody at 6'6", 240 pounds that moves the way Waller does, it opens up so many things for your offense. And it was an interesting thing to watch when they had Gruden and Greg Olson's offense. I can't wait to see what they do this year with Darren Waller. But last season, he lined up in the slot 123 times for 28.8% of the time. He lined up out wide as a wide receiver 93 times, so 21.8%. And then he lined on the inline, okay, where tight ends usually line up, 49.4% of the time. When you see something like that, that means that he can line up literally everywhere. That helps Davante Adams on one side. That helps Hunter Renfrow be able to do what he does and dominate in the slot. It helps you get another guy out there like Foster Moreau, a burner like Tyron Johnson, Matt Collins. His versatility helps you out so damn much. Can we just extend him already? Now, I'm in a sub battle, and I'm not in any kind of sub battle. Hell, I want to do this until we catch the official Chargers YouTube channel. I hate losing, and that's public enemy number 1 this week. Remember, every video you see on the Raiders Report this week, I want to see an FLAC. FLAC, you want to stick it to them? Let's pass these mother brothers. Let's pass these people right here. Hit that subscribe button. Let's catch the Chargers YouTube channel because I'm coming for them. Let's go to number 3 here. He wants to be a Raider. If anybody disputes the fact that he wants to be a Raider, I'm going to say shame on you because I do always think that actions speak louder than words. Does anybody remember when it was non-voluntary workouts? Who was there? Darren Waller. I also think that one of the biggest reasons why Waller fired his agent was because they were fussing around a little bit too much. He wanted to get paid, but he also wanted to just go out there and play football. He has always said that he is going to play football. He's going to let his agent do that, and he's going to control what he can control on the field. That's go out there and play football. On top of that, I know a lot of people who know Darren Waller, and they have straight up told me that Waller will forever, and I mean forever, be appreciative of what Las Vegas did for him, what Oakland did for him, finding him on a practice squad with the Baltimore Ravens, where I get it. He had a lot of issues. He was a cashier. He had a drug abuse problem, and he's totally turned his life around, but the Raiders have helped him do that. He wants to be a Raider. Now, if you guys want to get started with our awesome sponsor, Craggy Games, all I want you to do is scan that QR code right there with your phone. And remember, you can play with a bunch of buddies. You can play while you're chilling tonight watching the Rams and Bills game, or you can also do it if you plan on going to an actual tailgate. This is an unbelievably fun and entertaining game, which you guys can get at craggygames.com, or you can go down to the comments section. You can go in the description of today's video, craggygames.com. Use code Raiders to save 15% off. Chugs and I, we play this game literally all the time. I'm hoping that we get to play it a little bit more during the regular season, especially during our halftime shows. So get your hands on the game. That way you can play, and who knows? I've even been entertaining the idea of taking on some of y'all that get Craggy Games. So remember, craggygames.com, code Raiders to save 15%. Let's go to number 4 here. Time is money. And I really believe that every day that goes by, you are risking the chance that Darren Waller's price tag can go up. And usually, price tags go up when other players get deals done. Now, I will get into some of the names out there, and Dawson Knox recently became the 6th highest paid tight end in the league. But if Waller's making, the 17th most, what happens in a world, and Njoku just got a new deal, Mark Andrews, Goddard, Kelce, Kittle, these guys aren't about to get new deals anytime soon. In fact, Kelce kind of just got a raise. However, if you don't get a deal done before, what happens if TJ Hockenson, tight end for the Lions, gets a brand new deal? He was drafted in the top 5, I believe number 4 overall by the Lions. They like him a lot. If he gets around $15 million, if I'm Waller's agent, I'm like, all right, we're going to get a lot more than him. Mike Gesicki, there was reports that he wanted $17 million. Dalton Schultz, I think he's a good player. He's going to get a lot of opportunities this year. But if any of these players right here reset the market, the money's going to go up for Waller. So get the deal done. And I'm going to throw out this because when I say, hey, I believe Darren Waller deserves $16 million per year, people sometimes are like, well, that's crazy. Kyle Pitts, I think he's going to be one of the best tight ends in the league. He's going to get $20 million. He can't get it this year. He has to get it after 2023, so entering that 2024 season. But if Kyle Pitts is getting $20 million per year at least in 2 years from now, why not extend Waller right now, okay? Because if you extend him right now, with the 2 years he already has, you're essentially going to be paying him like, what, $12.5 million for 4 or 5 years. That's a hell of a deal for Darren Waller. So how about this, right? Because if we're going to talk about him, I think he's a great player. How many receiving yards do you think Waller's going to have this season? Some of his numbers might dip down a little bit, but that's going to happen when Devontae Adams comes to the town. I don't even really care all that much how many receiving yards he has, and if it does go down a little bit, we can all agree Waller needs to be used a little bit more in the red zone. And as far as I'm concerned, if the Raiders win more football games, score more touchdowns, if Waller being on the field opens up things for Renfro, opens up things for Jacobs, Devontae Adams, whoever, Derek Carr, I don't care how many receiving yards he has. He is that talented of a player where defensive coordinators have to respect him. But for the sake of the show, let me know how many receiving yards down below. The final reason here why you should extend him, you got to keep your franchise guy happy. You just paid Derek Carr a boatload of money, 3 years, $121.5 million, at the time making him the 5th highest paid quarterback in the National Football League. And we know, it's no secret, Derek has always throughout his entire career loved tight ends. It's the truth. And I also know this. He loves Darren Waller. Now, I get it. Waller's a hell of a player. But this is Waller's, or I guess I should say, quarterback rating. So Derek Carr, and there is a sprinkle of Mariota in here. When they target Darren Waller. In 2021, it was 81.9. I think one of the biggest reasons that happened, Carr, Waller, off kilter a little bit because Waller was battling some injuries, and those numbers drastically came down as soon as Ruggs was no longer on the field. In 2020, though, this would be like the best passer rate in the NFL. 2019, 109.6. 2018, 118.8. All I'm saying is, when you target Darren Waller, good things happen. Now, what about Raiders' target leaders over the past 5 seasons? Hunter Renfrow at 128. Waller, 145. Waller, 117. Oh, there's another tight end in Jared Cook. And then Michael Crabtree. So 3 out of the last 5 years with DC, a tight end has been the most heavily targeted player in your offense. I do not anticipate that happen today, this season, because, again, Devontae Adams. But if you can find a tight end who's going to get, I project, 120 targets and be that efficient, there's a lot of really, really quality production in there. So one more time, y'all, my 5 reasons why the Raiders need to extend Darren Waller. He's a great pass catcher. Gives you versatility on offense. Dude wants to be a Raider. The asking price could go up, and Derek Carr loves tight ends. If you're a loyal watcher of the show, the numbers I'm going to roll through here are numbers that you've seen before. But for me, I think that you could see 2 different types of contract extensions for Darren Waller. I think your first option is a 2-year, $32 million deal with a fully guaranteed $32 million. If Dawson Knox is getting $31 million, I want one more than that. Make him the highest paid tight end in the league. If that happens, you tack that on to the 2 years he already has. That's an average of $12 million per year, $48 million in total. The guarantees at $32. Option B, you give him a 3-year deal, $48 million, $16 a year again, $32 million guaranteed, which then you tack on to the 2 years that he has, comes out to a new contract of 5 years, $62. If you're telling me right now, $12.4 million for Darren Waller on average over the next 5 seasons, where I'm telling y'all, in 2 years from now, when Kyle Pitts signs a deal for $20 million a year, y'all are going to be like, wow, Kyle Pitts, $20 million a year, Darren Waller, 12.4. He's getting up there in age. That's a part of it. But I also know this, Waller does take really good care of his body. He's also very motivated, and the more and more he's out there, he knows he's going to be able to continue to make a lot more money.